Hi, Quazzers. Guess what?
We finally, I've managed to talk Lauren into it, are doing a live show.
It is Sunday, July 5th at 4 p.m. You can come, you can have tea, and you can get home for an early dinner and bed.
Or you can come for an early glass of wine and just hang out with us. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. We're going to do the podcast. We're going to hear from you guys. You're going to be a part of the show, and we are so excited for it.
Tickets are in the link below. Just click and get them while you can.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to 40ish. I'm Nicole Goodman.
And I'm Lauren Mishcon. This is the podcast tackling 40-something life. Every week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, to be precise. We tackle everything midlife, your news, your stories, your meltdowns, your dilemmas, and our own joys, trials and tribulations of being 40ish.
Yeah. Even though I'm going to be 50ish anytime soon, and I bring that up every show. But
Every show.
Because I'm very worried about it.
What are you worried about?
I'm worried
You'll
about...
just wake up and you'll be 50.
I'm worried that I've outgrown my own podcast.
It's fine. People in their 50s listen to this show.
No, I know they do, but they're
Yeah.
not hosting the show.
They're not.
Please remember you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, and there you get early access and ad-free listening across this show and our other show, Self-Care Club. And you can watch the video every week on YouTube, and you can listen on any other podcast platform, but I'm sure you're perfectly happy right where you are. Please, can we remind you, if you can follow and subscribe to the show, that helps us more than you could possibly realise. And if you've got something to share, big or small, we want to hear it. So please email us, hello@40ish.co.uk.
Well, I had the most 40-something moment in the nail salon this week.
Come on then.
The nail technician had just got married. And so she was sharing her videos and photos and everything else with all the clients in the salon because we all wanted to have a look. Oh, she looked stunning. The flowers were stunning. It was in Italy. It was the most beautiful wedding. Anyway, it was great. So there were three women sitting in a row. And then one of the women asked, how long have you been married? And I said, 25 years. And the woman next to me said, 32 years.
You married 25 years?
25 years this September. And the woman who asked the question, she said, I've been married for 9 years. What is the secret to a long marriage?
Oh, what is the secret to a long marriage?
And I said, not wanting to get divorced at the same time. That's the secret. She said, I've been married for 9 years. I absolutely hate my husband.
Oh, dear.
I said, oh, oh, dear.
Dear.
Oh, dear. She said, she's the same age as me. She said, I'm 48. I got married at 40 and we had a baby and I just absolutely hate him. But to be honest, I hate everything. And I thought,
okay, that sounds vaguely familiar.
Something's going on here. Anyway, the other lady finished her nails. I'd finished mine and this lady was still sitting there. And she said, I just don't know what's wrong with me. I've lost my confidence and it's my birthday tomorrow and I just don't want to do anything. And I can barely do my job and I can't even read a book or watch TV because I've got no concentration and my brain fog is out of control. Anyway, I scooted my wheelie chair over next to her chair and I said, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Oh, she wasn't actually telling you?
No, she was sort of just saying it. But she was
in the salon?
Yeah. I was like, do you mind me? How old are you? She said, 48. I said, I hope you don't mind me asking. You want HRT? No. I said,
Have you heard of it?
I said, it sounds to me like you're quite deep in the thick of menopause, perimenopause. She's like, oh yeah, my period stopped years ago. I'm like already there. I said, okay. Have you taken HRT ever? She said, oh, I took it for like a week, but then I felt worse. And I didn't like it. And so I said, well, you might need to give it more than a week. She said, you don't understand. I was like, no. I do understand. She gave me basically every single symptom
that we both had.
That anyone could ever have. She just listed it.
Bless her.
And
she's really struggling.
And I said, listen, I'm not a doctor, but I do host this show. And basically, this is all we talk about day in, day out. She said, but I think I'm like the only person who feels like this. I said, oh, I promise you, I assure you, we get emails and DMs every day
daily. Yeah.
from women who feel exactly like you do. She's like, did you feel like I did? I was like, yes, I felt flat. I had to put cushions over my ears when my husband ate yogurt.
In the other room.
Now he can eat yogurt freely.
You had to put cushions over your ears in the living room when he was eating yogurt in the kitchen.
Yes, I did.
And you felt that it was justified to be irritated by it. I mean, poor Ollie.
I didn't tell him I was irritated by it. I just put the cushions over my ears because I couldn't bear the noise. And she said, and honestly, she's like, oh my God, the thought of him touching me, she's like, it makes me want to vomit.
Oh.
I said, okay, this is not good.
No.
This isn't great.
No. No.
She's like, but he's just an asshole. I said, okay, listen, I don't know your husband. Maybe he is an asshole and the HRT might not help that. But my feeling is you might find him less of an asshole if you were feeling more balanced. I said, you know what? Do yourself a favour and your child a favour. Go and see the doctor on Monday. She said, I can't even be bothered. I said, no. I said, I know. I know. I get it. I know.
Yeah.
But please, I said, honestly, I think you were sat next to me for a reason today. And the reason is so someone could say to you, put your life together, go and see the doctor, sort yourself out. I was like, you deserve better than this. You don't have to feel like this.
The problem is when you're in it, unless you have the right counsel around you, and unless the symptoms and the anger and the rage and the can't be bothered and the flatness and the anxiety and the hatred and all of it feels so real.
Yeah. Well, it is real.
It is real. And I don't want to, by me saying it feels so real, I don't want it to seem as if it is, because it is.
Yeah.
Because there were times where I just couldn't stand anything or anyone. And it was at the point where a glass hadn't been put in the dishwasher. I swear to God, this is a true story. When the glass hadn't been put in the dishwasher and I came into the kitchen and I saw it on the side and it was next to a saucepan and I picked up the saucepan ready to chuck it across the other side of the kitchen. I didn't. And I thought, you're not okay. You're not okay.
Yeah.
Because a couple of months ago, you wouldn't have felt such anger towards that cup sitting there. But it feels so justified in the moment. And it's impossible to see outside of it.
It really is. And also when that flatness, when that whole kind of despondency descends upon you, you don't have the energy to sort it out because you just don't care about anything.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't wear makeup anymore. I don't care what I look like anymore. I said, well, you're in the nail salon.
That's a good thing, yeah.
She said, I haven't been in here for so long, I can't even tell you. I said, well, you're here.
That's good.
You've done that.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. What's happening with her peers? Like, are they not on HRT? Is she not discussing this with her friends? Has she just normalized it?
I think she said, I just don't want to go out and see anyone and do anything and I'm losing my friends. I mean, literally every symptom, every single thing we've ever talked about on this show.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to go out anywhere.
Well, this is what all the doctors talk about, isn't it? All the doctors that we've had on Self-Care Club talking through the menopause and why it's so important, because it's not just because there's all this talk about the risk of breast cancer with that crap study that was done in 2002, which was found completely null and void. And it was done on the wrong age of women and it was done on the wrong hormones and it was all just wrong. But that's the findings of that said that HRT causes breast cancer or it increases your risk of breast cancer. And then everybody was taken off HRT. So there's women for 20, 30 years now that haven't been on HRT. And it's probably, I mean, the doctors say it themselves. I think we will look back on medicine and it will be one of the worst things that happened in medical history. Because all of those poor women that suddenly, put themselves at risk for heart disease and Alzheimer's and osteoporosis and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. But it's not just those big things. It's the lifestyle stuff.
Yeah.
It's that. It's the feeling flat, the feeling despondent, the feeling hatred towards your spouse, your partner. I mean, all of that. You can blow up your life or lose your life or lose yourself. And that is very real. And I don't think that's talked about enough because it definitely happened to me. And I hope you don't mind me saying it definitely happened to you. But because you had seen me go through it, and you have access to some amazing doctors at your fingertips. And you had heard, I kept saying to you, didn't I? You've heard the same advice as me. You've heard the research. I don't understand why you are not going on HRT. I couldn't understand it. And you've watched me fall apart and I had to find my way through it blindly until I got on HRT because I didn't know it was that. I didn't know.
No.
Because it was only really when I was going through it, was only really right at the beginning of the menopause being talked about so openly.
But this is the thing. It's like you would just assume that everybody knows, but they still don't know. You know, I was out last night at a party and I was talking to my friend who said, I've got this book and I'm going to actually, it was Dr. Syra's book. And she said, I'm going to take it back to my friend because she's a menopause denier. I was like, but she's our age. We went to school with her. What do you mean she's a menopause denier? She's like, she won't go out. She's become this hermit. She's really anxious. She's really weird about things like being hot. She's got all these issues and all these problems, but she will not take HRT. I'm like, why not? She's like, she's a menopause denier. I'm going to make her read this book and the chapter.
But what, she's denying that the menopause happens? Like,
What's she denying? She's so in it, she can't see that she's in it. And I was like, but what do you mean? She was like, remember when you were in it and you weren't ready to take the HRT, but you were in it? And I was like, yeah. She's like, that's where she is. I said, okay, get it.
Yeah.
Get it.
What was your turning point? What made you think, okay, maybe I need some HRT?
I think it had been a year since I'd first tried it and then come off it. So a whole year had passed. I'd had my bloods redone. And hormonally speaking, blood work speaking, I had fallen off a cliff. Like,
but you'd fallen off the cliff way before.
Yeah, but I had then again plummeted from the low point I was at, literally at zero. And when I went to see the gynecologist to just talk it through, she just looked at the notes and not in a horrible way, but started laughing. She's like, "Well, it's really no wonder you feel so awful. You've fallen off a cliff."
Yeah.
She's like, your hormones are in the toilet. I can't even believe that you get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
She's like, you
barely did, to be fair.
And I think I just really wasn't feeling myself. And you had really obviously noticed it. And Ollie kept saying to me, you're not yourself. You're not yourself. You're just not yourself.
I mean, I bumped into Ollie at the gym, and I do bump into Ollie at the gym. And normally it's, hi, how's it going? How's work? It's a very top level conversation. And we might have a very quick coffee together, but it doesn't really go beyond that.
Yeah.
And he pulled me to the side at the gym and said to me, I'm really worried about her. And I said, I am too, but I know exactly what she needs to do and she will get there with it.
Yeah.
I mean, for him to do that and for us to have that conversation, you know, you were not okay. And I'm not saying it like I wasn't okay.
Yeah.
So I could recognize it so easily in you. And I can recognize it in my peers. Thankfully, a lot of my peers are really on it with their HRT and their gynecologists, and they really do look after themselves. Yeah. But it's very hard to see out of it when you're in it.
I think I needed to be, for whatever reason, and I can't even explain it, I wasn't like psychologically ready. I think I had this thing in my head that I would be 50, and when I was 50, I would start. You know, I'm very dogmatic like that. It's black and it's white.
Yes, so you really are.
And I wasn't like mentally prepared because my mum was 51.
Yeah.
Went through the menopause, started HRT, and I just thought I'll follow suit.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like prepared for it to happen 2 years earlier.
Yeah.
So I was like, no. I've got 2 more years.
Yeah.
But I didn't have 2 more years. I just didn't.
No.
And I think also it is that, and it sounds so nuts because we're talking about this every single week. We've interviewed every single doctor.
Yeah.
And I still couldn't just go, well, it's just fucking obvious. Just start.
Yeah.
But it took Elaine Palmer, who's been on this show, phoning me at 10 o'clock on a Friday night saying, do you know what? I think it's time. Let's just give it a go. Come on, let's give it a good go. And I was like, okay, yes. But I needed that. I needed someone to kind of take me in hand, who knows what she's talking about, prescribe, deal with me, sort me out, and listen.
But you're
to
lucky
her.
that you have her in your pocket.
So lucky. So
Because-
lucky, only because of this show.
Yes.
So lucky.
Because if you were left to the NHS, you would have been left to the NHS. And that's a whole minefield.
Yeah.
Which they just could not sort me out whatsoever because as it turned out, for me, I don't absorb the HRT transdermally.
Yeah.
So I couldn't take the gel, I couldn't take the spray, and I couldn't take the patch. I didn't absorb anything.
Yeah.
But I was using it. I still felt awful. I was being prescribed antidepressants. I still have the antidepressants in my cupboard. And I just knew that if I start on that, it's going to be really hard to get off it because that's a process as well. And I just knew that my hormones weren't okay.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I then went back to my old gynecologist, again, so privileged to have the access to these doctors. And he just took one look at me and he said, that's it, enough. It's enough. We need to implant it.
Yeah.
I'm like, just inject this shit.
Yeah. You had a rough ride for a long time.
I did. And I had every symptom going apart from hot flush. I don't get those. I am convinced that the reason that I had such a difficult time of it is so that I can host this show.
Well,
and do
that's
what we do
I
now.
mean, that's lovely, but also you shouldn't have to have suffered for like 2.5 years to be able to do a good job. You probably could have done a good job without that. It's
No, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with that because I think I am so much more knowledgeable and wise as to what you can do, what help there is out there, and all of the symptoms and how debilitating it can be. I feel so much more knowledgeable. And I'm kind of pleased that I have that now so that I can understand when a listener writes into us and tells us that actually they're having a really awful time and they hate their husband or they can't be bothered to see any of their friends or whatever the symptom is. Between you and me, we've probably experienced it, right? And also, look what I went through so that I felt that I could help you and support you really well because I'd been through it myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think women need to talk about it more. I know it feels like it's omnipresent and everyone talks about it all the time, but they don't really talk about it. I don't think they talk about the things that aren't very palatable. You know what I mean?
I think
the things that are like a bit embarrassing or they don't really want to admit to. Like, it's easier to say to a stranger in a salon, I literally hate my husband. The thought of him touching me makes me want to vomit. Like saying that to a good friend or someone who knows your husband is
really
hard.
Yeah.
You know? So it's those sorts of things. It's like no one talks about miscarriage, but a third of all women experience one. And then if you do mention it to someone, they're like, oh yeah, I had one. It's like, well, why isn't everyone saying this and sharing this? Because it would make life so much easier for everybody if everybody talked about it.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're trying to do on this show.
We're talking about it. Here we are talking about it.
Yeah. Well, well done to you. And I hope that you've really helped that poor woman in the nail salon.
I hope she's gone to the doctor. I really, really do.
Yeah, me too.
If I see her again, I'm going to check.
Please,
I will.
Do check. She needs you. I asked on Instagram because we had a conversation last week, maybe a couple of weeks ago. I don't know. I've lost sense of when the shows get released. Who was more down to earth?
Oh, yeah.
And then we asked James who was more down to earth and he gave...
Yeah.
He didn't really give an answer,
He did. He said neither of us were in the real world.
Oh,
was nice. His answer.
Yeah. Anyway, so I asked our Instagram followers.
Oh, yeah.
When I checked it this morning, you were leading. I know. Who knew? Let me have a look now.
Yeah. What did you ask exactly?
I said, following on from our convo on the pod about who's more down to earth, we would love your thoughts. Yeah. Who is more down to earth?
Yeah.
You are in the lead currently with 53%.
It's not much of a lead.
And I am trailing behind at 47%.
Okay. I mean, that's not much of a lead.
No, but you still... And we actually had someone, Catherine, wrote in saying, absolutely no contest. Sorry, it's Lauren. Sorry, Nicole.
Okay, well, you're gonna really like this.
But we also had an inbox.
Yes.
Did you see
from
the inbox?
Amanda? From Amanda?
No, I think it was.
Oh, well, listen to this one. You're gonna love this. Amanda said, listening to the latest episode, I absolutely adore you both, but I must weigh in on who is more relatable. Lauren, you ruined your chances of being relatable when you went foraging for dinner ingredients. That's when I knew. She says, that's when I knew we are not the same.
And Roxy said, I'm laughing at the poll. I voted, of course, but I have to add, based on 40ish, it would seem like it's Lauren with the doula background, not really caring about exercise, making compote from scratch, etc. Very down-to-earth vibes.
Thank you.
But anyone that's listened to the award-winning Self-Care Club Salt Cave episode and the hot towel, Keanu salmon teriyaki noodle bit.
Oh, yeah. That's one of my favourite episodes of Self-Care Club.
Might think differently.
Yeah.
I'll explain what it is in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm not, because you're talking about how you're in first class.
How I was sitting behind Keanu Reeves
in first class
on a flight back
and
from
he
LA.
licked your salmon
He licked my
teriyaki.
salmon teriyaki, yeah.
I'm not sure first class and down to earth go together, she says. So I voted for Nicole. But you're both wonderful, so it doesn't matter who wins the poll. That's from Roxy.
But Roxy, can I just say hashtag air miles? Do you know what I mean? I have some midlife news.
Yep.
Polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, which affects an estimated 170 million women worldwide, has been renamed PMOS. Polyendocrine metabolic ovarian syndrome. The change reflects a growing understanding that the condition is not just a reproductive or gynecological issue, but a complex disorder that can affect hormones, metabolism, fertility, and mental health. The renaming initiative, led by Helena Teed and published in The Lancet, aims to improve diagnosis and treatment by giving doctors and patients a more accurate understanding of the condition. Many women struggle for years to have their symptoms taken seriously, but this shift signals that we're getting closer to recognising the complexity of women's health conditions rather than reducing them to fertility alone.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I wonder what, did you ask your friend Dr. Saira Hamid what she thinks of this?
I didn't, but I can.
You should. I would like to hear her thoughts on this.
Okay.
Yeah, because she is an endocrinologist, so she must have a whole host of thoughts on this.
I'll ask her. I think she's going to come on the show to talk about her new book in September.
Okay.
So we'll ask her then, actually.
Great.
Okay, good. Should we
You
get
have
on
to wait till September. She's like your best friend. Can't we ask her? Can't we ask her like this
I mean,
week?
I can ask her today.
I might not care by September.
People will still have PMOS in September, by the way.
I know. But like, I don't think we have to wait till September. You
No,
do
I
have a
can
lot
ask-
of
I can
access
ask her
to
I can ask her today, yeah. Just before we dive into your dilemmas, a quick disclaimer. We're not doctors or healthcare professionals. If there's an issue you are seriously struggling with, please contact a qualified expert.
Just interrupting this episode to say, if you are enjoying it, please can you share it with a friend who you think will love it too, and don't forget to subscribe and follow wherever you're listening. Hello to both of you. I came across your podcast a few weeks back and have been loving it. It's lovely to hear such down-to-earth, honest chat. I love that.
Yeah.
See, we are down to earth. And it really makes me laugh. My dilemma is something I have now been suffering with for as long as I can remember, so I'm not sure I can blame the menopause madness entirely. I am a 50-year-old okay-ish driver, driving in local areas to work, school runs, basically places I just know. However, if I was expected to drive any further outside my comfort zone to somewhere new, it would make me feel so nervous that the anxiety involved will literally keep me awake at night, and I will often invent a whole load of excuses, so I just end up not doing it. My fear is of getting lost, doing something stupid in my panic state like stopping or going into the wrong lane, etc., particularly on a motorway when my palms would literally be sweating, and I fear I will just end up having an accident.
Sounding familiar.
Very. I'm not even sure where the fear has stemmed from, but has been creeping up on me for years. But it's proper stomach-churning phobia feelings that is making me feel quite sad at times. I have relied on others for years now to do the main long-distance driving when required, and have managed to dodge any major journeys with me in the driving seat. Now, my eldest daughter is about to embark on a new exciting life at uni, which is a 2-hour drive away from us, and everyone keeps saying, you will need to start getting more confident. I understand that I do need to get a grip, and I want the freedom in my mind to go and visit whenever I want to and not rely on others. I don't want to drive with my husband next to me either, as sweet as he is. I think that could possibly cause him to have anxiety as well as me, as he would not be relaxed and would quite possibly make it worse. I'm also apprehensive about train journeys too, particularly alone. I'm just not even sure where this has come from, probably lack of doing these sorts of journeys, as I've never needed to. I'm so fed up with the overthinking, worrying all the time about cocking it up, and mainly the fear of just simply getting lost. I wonder if anyone else ever feels like this, as I feel like it's just me. Everyone around me just seems to get on travelling without a worry, and for the first real time, I think this fear is going to truly hold me back and have an impact on others, mainly my family. If you can offer any advice, I would appreciate it. Kindest regards, Kay.
Has anyone else ever felt like this? Yes. Sitting here in this chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll just leave this for you to answer.
I mean, totally relate to this. I have driving anxiety, and I am pretty sure it was like my first sign of perimenopause because it started
Post-COVID.
post-COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, we did quite a few Self-Care Club episodes where this came up. So we did one with Anna Martha. I can't remember which episode it was.
Anxiety.
And she said that she had the same thing. And
she's a lot younger.
Yes. But she had 3 very, very small children. And she was taking like the bus in the rain because she wouldn't get in the car.
Yeah.
And we were talking about my driving anxiety. And then we did a show on hypnotherapy. And I used my motorway anxiety as my hypnotherapy.
And the
thing.
EFT, the tapping.
And the tapping. Yeah. So we've done a few shows where this has come up for me. I totally relate. And also, it is not just you. It is an actual perimenopause thing. I know you're saying that it's been going on for a long time, but my guess would be as you've got older, it's got worse. And now you've got a phobia of like being alone on train journeys too.
I mean, it is very common in
Really
perimenopausal
common.
women, but also the problem is with this kind of perimenopausal, let's call it a symptom or fear or phobia, it's not the sort of thing that sticking an estrogen patch on will sort out.
No.
Because I think it escalates
Yes.
quite quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I got to the point where, because in COVID, obviously, no one was driving anywhere. And by the time we were back driving, I couldn't even drive on like an A road. And I would divert from Nicole's house when I had to go and pick my son up from school. I would drive home to my house and then do my own preferred route to avoid the main roads. And that was awful. And it was really impacting my life because I just wouldn't drive anywhere. And there was a whole day when he had a party and I got some other mum to pick him up because I couldn't do the drive, and it got really bad. And in the end, I did kind of force myself to get used to the A roads. I still can't do motorways, I will admit that. And I had the same thing. My son went to university 2 hours away.
Yes.
And I knew that I was never going to be able to drive up the motorway to get him in an emergency. But I did know that I could just jump on the train if I needed to.
And also, if we ever need to go anywhere where we drive, I always drive.
I know.
You're always happier not in the car.
But it does still fuck me off.
Yeah.
It does. It really does.
You did do some motorway driving after the EFT.
Did I?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I did. I drove to Blenheim. Yeah,
So
I
that
did.
EFT is pretty powerful.
You're
stuff.
right. I did do it.
Yeah.
I did. I actually think it's a horrible phobia, and I so understand it. But it's one of those things, you have to find some tool to help you through it, whether it's the hypnotherapy, the EFT, the talking to someone about it. And then you do actually have to just do it because it is all in your head. And mine is also about getting lost and wrong lanes.
Is it?
Yeah.
And not knowing.
Yeah. Even though I've got ways and it's nuts. Like, there's no logic.
And also,
to
you
it.
live in a city, so it's so easy to jump on a train.
It is, but it's often easier for me to drive. And,
Yes.
and it's also, for me as well as this lady, it's not like thank God, I've never had an accident. No one I know has died in an accident. It's not, there's nothing concrete.
It came from nowhere.
Nowhere. And beforehand, I would drive on the motorway and I was fine. I never thought about it and it was all okay. And now it's not okay. So I know that you and I are not the only ones. It's a real thing.
It is a real thing. And I'm sure she's going to find a lot of comfort knowing that you have dealt with this and that a lot of other women have dealt with it. I haven't come across, I mean, some of my friends say, oh, I don't like driving at night. And I think that's also like the start of things, isn't it?
I mean, look, I will obviously drive at night and I'm fine with it. I would rather drive in the day, but I don't have the phobia of driving at night, but I would prefer not to.
So how did you get from driving from my house to your house to your son's school to now being able to do the A roads?
I'll tell you how, because our recording time went over one day and I did not have the physical time to drive home and then drive to his school. I had no option. I had to just drive and I did it. And the first time I was really I could feel in my body quite tight, quite anxious, quite stressed. And then 2 days later, I did it again. And then the next week I did it. And now I'm doing it it's autopilot. It's like brushing my teeth. I don't even think about it. It doesn't go through my head. Oh my God, I've got to drive on this road. It's not a thing.
And are you all right with all A roads now?
Yeah.
So it was just a case of like ripping the Band-Aid off.
I had to just do it. And because I was forced into a situation and I got there and I was like, this was fine.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
Yeah.
Come on now. Come on. I still can't do motorways, but I do feel like if I had to now, if I absolutely had to, I probably could.
You did have to. When you went away with your sister-in-law.
Yes. She wasn't insured on my car. Her car wasn't big enough for all of us, so I had to drive in my car.
So you did do it?
Yeah, I did do it. I didn't love it, but I did do it.
You know,
and I was all right.
I don't love the motorway, mainly because it's boring and I worry about losing... I don't worry about losing focus, but I find it quite hard to concentrate for 2 hours at a time with just one road.
Yeah.
Motorway driving is horrible.
But also... my problem is I have a husband who loves driving.
Yeah.
Like he actively enjoys long drives. So if we ever go anywhere, there's never a debate of like, who's going to drive? Because he wants to, he loves it.
Yeah.
So I've got this out, which has made me very lazy and also has made me not have to deal with
confront it.
Yeah.
So your advice to her is just rip the Band-Aid off.
Rip the Band-Aid off. But if you don't feel able to do that, I would have some sort of tool in your pocket, whether it is a hypnotherapy session or some sort of see someone about it, whatever feels like it resonates with you. Also, maybe just do a small thing. Like if you are going to do that motorway drive with your husband next to you, just do like 2 junctions. Just do
maybe don't have your husband next to you because she said it will stress her out. As sweet as he is.
Yeah.
Get someone else.
But I mean, if she can't do the whole drive, at least there's someone else to do it. But just don't feel like the whole journey's on you. Just do something very short and manageable so that you know you can. Because when you know you can, then you can do it again.
Yeah. Well, good luck. And thank you so much for the email.
Cherie sent us a meltdown. Hi, girls. This is maybe a moan, possibly a rant.
Cool.
I've been listening to both podcasts for some time now. I'm not sure how I came across both as I'm down under in Oz.
We have a lot of listeners in Oz.
But I'm glad I did. My friend who lives in Australia, she said, I've been listening to a lot of 40ish recently. She said, and you keep saying that you've got a lot of listeners in Australia. And I think it's completely down to me. And I was like, really? Are you broadcasting the show? Like, how is it down to you?
Is she a celebrity or something?
No, she's a midwife.
Well, how's it down to her?
Well, I don't know. She's just decided that all the Australian listeners listen because she...
Are they her friends?
I don't know. I mean, I think she's told her friends. I'm pretty sure she's told her friends. But I don't know. Cherie is one of her friends.
Cherie? Are you
Cherie? Do you know my friend Steph? She said, I'm down under in Oz, but I'm glad I did. I wasn't able to have children, but I still find so many things relatable. I suffered from endometriosis when I was 22, 9.5 years undiagnosed.
Bless you.
So many doctors, tests, frustrations. Later, I found a female doctor that finally got to the bottom of it all. Not only endometriosis, but adenomyosis as well. 6 rounds of IVF just to give everything a try before I had to give up. But now, after 9 years and divorced, I have an amazing supportive partner, a new home, I own my own business, and I've come to terms with having no children. But it's still a question I get asked. Don't you want kids? Didn't you want kids? It is so frustrating, and I just want to say, quaz off.
I love it.
I love the pod, and I have a trip to Europe in 2 weeks, and I'm praying to get tickets to your show if the dates line up. Thank you, Cherie.
Oh,
I hope your dates line up.
I really hope the dates line up. And I love Quaz Off.
Quaz off.
And I am so delighted to hear that you are doing well and you have made your peace and you are in a much happier, better place. Good for you. That is lovely.
It is lovely.
Thank you for writing in, Cherie. I really hope you can be at our live show. I don't want to say about what's happening with the live show because then it keeps changing.
It is happening, and it is on July the 5th.
July the 5th, everybody, at 4 p.m.
At 4 p.m.
in London.
In London.
We're about to go and pay the deposit now.
We are.
Yeah.
It is happening. We will, by the time this is released, the show's released, we will have a ticket link in the show notes.
Yes.
So please come along.
Please come along.
Okay, that's it for today.
Oh, yeah.
It was quite a serious show for us. I felt like we were newsreaders today.
No, you did not.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I feel like we were on Question Time.
Did you?
Yeah.
What's her
Felt like
name? Kirsty. What's her name?
Who?
The presenter of Question Time.
I don't watch Question Time.
Do you?
No.
I actually do.
Do you?
Yeah, not religiously.
Do you like it?
I do like it.
Do you?
Depends what's happening in the news that week.
I don't like it.
Why?
It just doesn't tickle my fancy.
It's quite relevant and topical.
It is, yeah. Yeah, it is.
And it's good, and it gives you a good sense of like the temperature.
I agree, but it's on at the same time as first dates. So, I'm doing that. I like to go low while you go
you
high.
can record things.
I do know that.
Did you? You just press
on
the
my
R on
Skybox.
Skybox. Yeah.
Even I can do that.
Yeah, can you?
Yeah.
Are you sure? We will be back on
Thursday.
No.
Yes.
No.
No? Yes.
No, this is Thursday's show.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll be back on Tuesday then.
There you go.
Okay. See
See,
you then.
we're all over the place. We're all over the place. We'll be back on Tuesday.